Homeowners, do you want to avoid making a big mistake if you're thinking of selling your home in the next 12 months? And you want to make sure that if you do sell your home, you're getting not only the maximum amount of profit, but the least amount of headache? Well, then you're going to want to watch today's episode. Hi, I'm Josh Alexander and your host of Orange County Housing Market News, your one-stop shop for all things Orange County real estate. So in today's episode, we're going to be going over a unique problem that sellers are going to be running into over the next 12 months and how you can avoid it. So let's go ahead and get into it. So as everybody's well aware by now, over the last 2.5 years, we have seen the hottest sellers market ever in Orange County. You could put a house up for sale with a single picture of the front, and within 24 hours, you'd have lines out the door, offers coming in way above asking price. You are often setting records in the neighborhood for the highest priced home. Now, as you're also probably aware, we are no longer in that extremely hot sellers market. Interest rates have gone up, inflation has gone up, the market has dramatically slowed down and slowed down at a very quick pace. Now, the problem with this hot sellers market that we're coming from is that hot sellers markets tend to create weak sellers agents. So what do I mean by this? Well, if anybody has just gotten into the industry and gotten their license over the last 2.5 years, or just wasn't very good at marketing to begin with, they were able to stumble through a transaction over the last 2 years, maybe place a couple photos from their cell phone on the MLS, still get great offers, still be able to eventually close escrow, and most sellers were happy with that. However, when we've seen such a dramatic shift in the housing market, a lot of these agents that didn't develop those skills marketing a house and didn't really need to know what was going on in the market in terms of the average selling price, how fast things were going in an escrow, those agents are going to struggle trying to sell homes over the next 12 months. All this to say is if you're thinking of selling your house in the next 12 months sometime, you just need to make sure that you're being very careful about the agent that you're selecting. When you're going through the interview process, there's a few things that you really want to pay attention to make sure that you don't fall into this trap of hiring someone that doesn't have the proper experience to be able to market your house correctly and doesn't really have a good grip of what's actually happening in the housing market at the time you're trying to sell your house. So how do you go about making sure that you don't fall into the trap of hiring the wrong agent that doesn't have the right experience to be able to market your property? Well, number one, you need to be asking a lot of questions about the current market conditions. Basically, you just want to make sure that they're backing up what they say with actual data so you know that it comes from a place of knowledge and they're not just making stuff up to try to get you to sign with them to be able to list your home. And number two, when you're interviewing agents, you have to be more careful now than you've had to been over the last 2 years about understanding how they're going to market your property. If they're just taking professional photos and that's all they're doing and placing it on the MLS, that's not going to cut it in today's market. You need to make sure that your house is going to be exposed to as many qualified buyers as possible through as many channels as possible. So what does this look like? Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can check out this link right up here where I go over the 10-step process that I use to help sell someone's house to make sure that all channels are used properly and you're getting as many eyeballs on your property as possible. And if you aren't watching this on YouTube or you just want a PDF copy instead of watching a video, feel free to check out the description below or the link in my bio, depending on what platform you're watching this on. So I'm not going to go into detail about this whole process, but some of the very basics that all agents should be doing in today's market to make sure they're maximizing your sale price, as well as making sure your home sells quickly, because a lot of sellers don't understand that we are no longer in the market that is going to sell within the first week or first 2 weeks. Oftentimes it's going to take longer than that, and the average days on market is continuing to go up week by week. So if you're a seller, especially if you're a seller that's living in the house while you're selling it, it's a huge inconvenience to have open houses every weekend where you have to leave the property, you have showings during the week, you have to keep your house show ready all times. It's a big pain and a giant headache. So the faster you can sell it at the highest price is going to leave you with the best experience possible, which is why it's so important to make sure the house is marketed properly up front to give you the best chance of doing so. So on top of the very basics of high quality professional photos, the agent at bare minimum should be going through the house before you even put it up for sale and giving you some recommendations on how to maximize your profit. So things like staging the property, doing some minor repairs, doing some cosmetic cosmetic updates, just to make sure it's appealing to more buyers to be able to give you a better chance of getting multiple offers quickly. And then once you do those updates and then get your house staged if needed, then they can come in, not only do the professional photos, but professional video. And on top of that, they should be going through your entire neighborhood, letting people know that your house is coming up for sale, because oftentimes neighbors have family or friends that would like to move into the area. So it's a great source of additional buyers to make sure the neighborhood knows about it as well. So they should be doing that. They should be putting signs in your yard with QR codes so anybody walking by can get all the information they need, schedule an appointment to see the property, and you should be going through and making sure that all digital channels are covered when it comes to advertising. So I'm talking about YouTube, Facebook, Google, Instagram, TikTok. All those different platforms should be advertised on, again, to make sure that as many people as possible see your house, giving yourself the best chance of selling it. So again, if you do want a full breakdown of what you should expect your agent to be doing in today's market to market your house properly, feel free to check out that video, check out the PDF, and that will give you all the information you need. So that's about all I have for you today. I know it's a short episode, but I wanted to get that information out there because I'm starting to see it already become a problem with people putting their house up for sale and not having it marketed properly, and it just sits there. It's not selling. The longer it sits on the market, the less buyers are going to be willing to pay for it, and ultimately you're not going to maximize the sale price of your house. So if you're thinking of selling your house, make sure that you find someone that knows the area, knows the data, and can understand what needs to be done in terms of the marketing side of things to make sure you sell your home for top dollar and as quick as possible. So until next week, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you on the next show. Bye.